Namaste, my name is Lainey. I am a yoga teacher and an energy healer, and today I want to talk about spiritual awakening and raise of consciousness and spiritual growth. What does all that mean, and what's actually the goal of it, and how can we do that? How can we reach there? Let's dive right in. So to begin with, I want you to understand that we as human beings, we are here on the earth to experience things, to go through these experiences, and through these experiences we grow. So every human being, no matter if you do yoga, if you do shamanism, if you do any kind of thing, you raise your consciousness. That's automatic. That just happens because life happens. You go through different kind of experiences, good and bad, and you learn from them, in the best case. Sometimes the same scenario has to be presented to you in different phases, and eventually you will learn your lesson. As long as you didn't learn the lesson, some very similar thing will happen to you again, and again, and again, and again, till you learn your lesson from this. And this means you raised your consciousness a little, you grew a little spiritually. So this happens anyways. It happens to every one of us. It happens if you do yoga, if you don't do yoga. It happens if you believe in some religion. It happens if you don't believe in anything. This is just how we human beings work as a system. We want to grow. We are striving for more. When we are very unconscious still, we try to satisfy this need by material things. We start hoarding, we start getting attached to many things, many material things around us, and we try to expand our being like this. When we come into a higher consciousness, we understand that it's not about the outside things, it's not about the material things I have. I should expand my own system, my own energies. This is, so to say, the awakening moment. This is the moment when you realize, there is more to life. It's not just about possessing a lot of things, being famous, earning a lot of money. But then you realize, hey, there's more to it. And you want to explore this. You see that this will bring a lot of joy into your life. So this is, so to say, the awakening moment, when you start realizing that this expansion you want to have in your life is nothing which will happen outside, but from inside. So spiritual awakening means you start your journey. Now this, like you said, spiritual growth happens with every human being automatically, but there are certain techniques which we can use to fasten the whole process and to make it easy for ourselves. So one of the main transformative sciences of humanity is yoga. The other two is shamanism and alchemy, but today we will focus on yoga. Yoga is a complete system which will help you grow in your consciousness, raising your consciousness level, slowly coming out from the mud, and like in India, like it's always depicted as a lotus, the lotus which grows out of the mud. So this is what spiritual growth is about. We start from the lowest chakra and we raise our consciousness higher, 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 higher. And this is nothing which will happen within a week or within a few days. This takes time. And it's also nothing which will happen when you sit on your mat. All these things, what we do, all the techniques, they help. But the main thing is that you live life. You experience life to its fullest. You take on the challenges. And you see that what you can learn from life, what life is trying to teach you with sending you different kind of people or creating different kind of situations. So whatever happens to you, whomsoever you meet, there's always a lesson behind this. So this is a little about the background of spiritual growth. I also want to get a little into the term of Kundalini. Kundalini yoga is booming in the West. It's something very fascinating because it can help with this spiritual growth. It can fasten the process intensely, I would say, but there is also big danger in that, because there are a lot of teachers who teach Kundalini yoga and who are not very experienced and who don't know about the dangers. So why is Kundalini yoga dangerous? We talked about this raise of consciousness. We also see this in our chakras. So we have the seven main chakras along our spine. Our first one is not on the spine, the seventh one is also not on the spine, but the in-between ones are all on the spine. And they show us the journey one after the other. And we start from the first. When the first one is open, we can go to the second. When the second one is open, we come to the third. So it's like a step, it's like a ladder. I cannot start opening the fifth and then start opening the first. It's step by step. I have to open it up. And this opening up just means I raise my consciousness one step after the other. Now, when we do Kundalini yoga or also other techniques, for example with herbs, this is very intense. So I can bring up the energy very fast. The problem there is the energy in my body is higher than what my physical body can take. You can imagine like this, you have a very small bulb and you bring a lot of electricity inside. The bulb will burst. Same happens with our body. If we raise our consciousness, our energies too fast, our physical body might not be ready for it and I will get problems. I'll get physical problems. We see this sometimes. In the West, it's a problem nowadays, I would say. You see a lot of people who got into Kundalini yoga, who got into other kinds of yoga, started raising their consciousness and their body was not ready for it. And then they have certain problems. They become a little freaky, we would say, a little weird, because their body was just not ready. So it is always good if you wanna bring your energy up in a system. If you want to use some kind of technique to help for the energy raise, then it's always good if you go with a traditional system like Hatha Yoga and you follow it like step by step. You don't skip anything, and the best is obviously if you have a trained teacher who guides you along this path, because the main thing is in the beginning to cleanse the system. We have to cleanse and prepare the body for these high energies, and once that happens we can start raising the energies. So cleansing will happen with yamas and niyamas, already by the basics, how you will live your life. And a big part of cleansing happens with the Shatkriyas, of course. So Shatkriyas are the cleansing techniques which cleanse the physical body from inside. And then pranayama. Pranayama is a very, very important step. With pranayama, we have two different kinds of pranayamas. One kind cleanses the energy system and the other kind already starts raising the energies. So again, you should learn from an experienced teacher. If you just do random classes here, classes there, you will get glimpses of what is possible, but you might also harm yourself. And let's come back to this picture with the bulb. When you have the small bulb and you send a lot of electricity inside and the bulb bursts, if this happens to your physical body, it is very hard to heal this and to come back to a natural state again. So let's be very aware of this, that yoga is not this smooth gymnastic bending and stretching. Yoga is a very powerful system. And if you use it right, you can raise your consciousness. This means you will feel that life is joyful. You will see that you want to live life to its fullest. Everything will become very beautiful. Everything will work its way around you. So everything works smooth. So you can use it in this sense. But it is a very powerful system and you have to handle it with care. So if you misuse it, you will get problems from it. So today's video is more of a warning, but also an inspiration. Inspiration, what all is possible with the system. I wanted to give you a glimpse of how powerful yoga actually is and how careful you should be with it, and that it is important that you find a good teacher for yourself. And there are many good teachers out there. And sometimes it just is not the right teacher for you. You will feel like, the chemistry is just not right. Then go try another teacher. You will find your teacher, which will help you on your way. It is very important that the chemistry is right between your teacher and yourself. It doesn't matter how good or experienced he is. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel safe with the teacher, with the whole yoga tribe there, it will not help you. So go out, find an experienced, good teacher for yourself where you can really, truly connect and begin your journey. So I wish you all the best, and if there are any questions, I'm always here for answers. See you soon. Bye.